Hi guys. Today we're going to talk about turning 2 of these Jeep Cherokees into one of these Jeep Commando. So I've had this one for about 10 years or so, completely changed it, restored it, and so now we're going to try it again with its younger brother, the Jeep Commando. So I have a 1972-73 Jeep Commando. I'm gonna have to look at the title to remember, but the point is we're gonna take 2 of those Jeep Cherokees, take the drivetrain, axles, motor, transmission, all of it, and turn it into one of these. It'll have cruise control, AC, heat, all the wonderful amenities that a modern Jeep would have, while having that cool, clean, retro style, all with spending little to no money. Yeah, so all this will be possible by one motorcycle, a 1977 Yahama XS650 that I restored a few months ago. My brother gave it to me and he was kind of over it, so I took it, restored it, sold it. But I'll be taking that motorcycle that I sold, bought the 2 Cherokees, doing some work on those, pulling the drivetrain out of one of them, to then pulling the interior out of that same one to put into this other one, flipping and restoring and selling as well to then fund the bullnose project, or the Jeep Commando project. So for those of you who don't know, in 72, 73, they changed to like a Ford Bronco looking grill on a Jeep Commando, and so they call it the bullnose. It's kind of ugly. It was made to compete with like the Ford Bronco. So I was given the 1972 Commando for free. I found it on Facebook. A guy who said, "Get it out of here. My wife's gonna kill me if you leave it in the yard any longer." It's just a frame, a tub, a top, a grill, you know, body, that's it. So there's not much to it. And so with that, knowing that I needed everything, I looked for a donor that would make the most sense. The 72 actually came with the straight 6 originally, the AMC straight 6, whatever that is. And so the Jeep Cherokee 4.0 should just fit right in. It should be an easy swap, easy fit. Plenty of room for it. So that's what needs to be done. We pulled all of the drivetrain out of one Jeep Cherokee. So today we're pulling apart the Jeep Cherokee. I've kind of already started. Then that drivetrain just has to get transplanted in. So lots of steps, complete suspension, motor, drivetrain, wiring, paint, body, all of it. It's gonna be completely from scratch. So to make the Cherokees work to where it's not gonna cost me any money, the red Jeep Cherokee was in a rollover, but it was a daily driver runner. The white Jeep Cherokee had no interior, but it needed the interior from the red one, which was perfect. So I pulled the interior from the red one. Completely already gutted the interior. I didn't film any of this. I put it into the white one, pulled the entire drivetrain out of the red Jeep Cherokee, and got it set aside, labeled, ready to go. Now I'm going to be focusing on the white one, getting it running. So get that white one up and running, and then from that I'll sell it and should be money ahead, or ride it no money spent in the 2 Jeep Cherokees, which will give me everything I need to build the Jeep Commando. Now I'm really working to get this white one up and going. So I've got the interior completely installed. I've made a few trips to the junkyard, getting a few pieces and parts I needed to complete it, and I'm not sure if it's going to be up and running or not. So I need to see if I can get it running, what might or might not be wrong with it, see if it can drive, move under its own power, so then I can assess how much it's going to cost me to get it going, running, driving if possible, and then how much it'll be worth to sell to somebody else. So that's kind of what I'm going to be focusing on right now, figuring out what's wrong with this, seeing if I can get it to run, seeing what it might be worth to somebody else, or if it's just going to be better for me to part it out altogether versus trying to sell it as a whole. So let's get to it. Please run. Let's really hope this sucker runs, or drives, or moves, or does anything. So here we go.
2 hours later.
It smells really good under here. Okay, so I have already checked the fluids, so I do know there's oil in it. I know that's good to go. Yeah, it's getting fuel. It's got some fuel squirting out. I just need a little bit more cranking. Let's see. Let's try it one more time and see. Check fuel. If that's not working, we'll check spark next and see if it's getting spark or not. Got here, I'll be a cheater. You could also use like a screwdriver or something, but just a spark light indicator. So we'll go plug this in, make sure there's spark happening. So basically the vehicle needs 3 things to run. It's gonna need spark, fuel, and air. I know it's got fuel. I pushed it at the fuel rail. It might just be old fuel, so maybe that's part of the problem. I'm not sure, but what we're gonna do next, I'm gonna pull this out. And so what's nice with this is, you know, you can just put like a screwdriver in here and you can gap it to something metal and see the spark shoot across to make sure you have spark. But this will be a little bit simpler, a little bit cleaner. You just basically plug that in like a spark plug would be. And then we're gonna plug this piece into the, that might be part of the problem. We got loose spark plugs. So we gotta need to get a wrench and tighten those down, but let's just make sure we got spark first. So now what should happen is when I go to crank it, this right here should have a little light that'll just start flashing. So right in here, that'll start flashing. Then we know we have spark. So that means we know we have spark, we know we have fuel, and there should be air, should not be a problem. So let's just see. So we know we got spark, but that spark plug looks loose. So what I'm gonna go do now is get a spark plug socket, and let's go through and make sure all the spark plugs are tight. Then we can look at firing order, a few other things, and see if we can get this thing running today. So, okay, so we just tightened the spark plugs. A couple of them were pretty loose, so we're gonna go back in, see if that's maybe what was causing the issue, see if we can get it to start. Wish us luck.
One eternity later.
So this is the throttle body. So this is where the fuel and the air and all that stuff kind of gets sent out. I don't really know exactly how it works, but that's the general idea. Wow! I just thought maybe if I open it, we can get a little bit more airflow, unrestricted airflow, and see. I'm sure that's probably not the problem, but that's the problem right there. Dirt daubers is causing issues. I know we have air, I know we have fuel, I know we have spark. So in theory, it should start. It's not starting. So what I'm thinking it might be is that, I mean, it could be sensors, it could be a lot of other things, but I think the easiest place to start would be that this fuel's probably been sitting in this Jeep for Lord knows how long. So get some starting fluid, we'll squirt some starting fluid in the throttle body, see if that gives it enough to get it started, and then maybe that fuel's good enough that it'll run for a little bit longer. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is that I think the fuel might be bad and that's not letting it start. I don't know, there could be like a million different things that's causing issues, but that's where we're gonna start for now. So we got starter fluid, we'll see what happens. So starting fluid, starting away.
Listen to that baby purr.
Oh, no. Well, I think that answers the question. It's definitely bad gas. We're there. It started. We heard it, kind of, sort of. So now let's see if we can get it to run a little bit longer. I might just add some good, like 100% fuel in the gas tank, and we'll see if that gets it to run quite right too. But let's just do that one more time. That was nice. Getting all excited. Great success. Let's go get some real gas. I've got some on the back of the Jeepster, and we'll throw it in and see if that will get it up and firing. I don't want to put too much in here though, because then I got to drop the gas tank.
Just waste.
Just wasted $100. All right. Let's hope. Let's see. Running. Now let's see if it'll shift into gear. Well, it definitely shifts. So let's leave this running because I don't want it to die. I'm thinking it's just going to be low on transmission fluid, but we can check it and I'll add a little bit of this good old transmission fluid. Like a coffee pour over in the morning. Don't try this at home, kids. Tide Pod Challenge. ATF fluid challenge. It's running good though. Good oil pressure. Temp's looking fine. Plenty of voltage. Seems to be idling smoother. Oh. All right, so it's wanting to move. Yes, I think. Oh, hang on. You see that? What's this? What's that? Parking brake? Well, let me get the door for you, old son. I just love, we're just hopping in. We haven't even seen if it works since it wasn't working a minute ago. We just added it, and it's just, let's just hope it goes around the neighborhood. Ooh, boy.
I love it when we're gonna tow this back.
I know, walks back to the end of the street. Oh, I haven't even checked the brakes. They do work. Thank goodness. But come on. Shit. Come on, Bessie.
There she goes.
There she goes. Throw it in neutral and coast. Yeah, I was just screaming for help. Help me. Great. Very little to no work. I'm surprised the seller was honest. You never know when you buy these things if it's actually true, but they said it shouldn't take much work to get it running, and so far it hasn't taken a whole lot. So let's recap. It didn't run, and then it did run, and then we fixed some stuff, and then we didn't. Transmission fluid, we gassed it, forgot to check if the brakes worked before getting in the car and driving down the street. I know it runs, it drives, it shifts. I know there's lots of little details. 3 of the 4 windows work, some miscellaneous electronics, the radio's not turning on. Maybe it's just fuses, small stuff. But really right now, I've got to figure out if I want to spend the time to put more time into this when I probably won't get much more out of it, fixing all the small details. Or maybe just give it to somebody as a running, driving Jeep project, and then hopefully break even about what I have into this Jeep and the other one I'd like to sell this one for, so that way I'm at a net zero or so. That's where we're at for now. So this is really a great start on where we're at, and I hope you guys are excited to see where this goes, taking everything that I have here and turning it into a really cool 1972 Jeep Commando. Until next time,